Hello and welcome back to my channel and to a new video. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. It's been a while. How long is it since? I think it's about like 3 weeks since I posted a video. So I thought I would just film this and catch you up on what's been going on. It has been a roller coaster. I think is the only way to describe the last few weeks, a roller coaster of emotions. There has been some very low lows, some highs, some really highs, and some even lower lows. Yeah, crazy. Those of you who follow me on Instagram will already know, but how long? Nearly 3 weeks ago. No, hang on. 2 weeks. I don't know. Anyway, a while ago, my dad sadly died. I'm going to say quite suddenly because it was unexpected. We had a run-up, a 2-week run-up probably to him dying, which kind of prepared us, I guess. We had no warning prior to that. Dad had been absolutely fine. He had a hip replacement, you might remember me saying previously, last Christmas, and he was doing really well. Last time he came to us was in August. He came for lunch with my mum and he managed to walk up the stairs, no problem at all, sat up here, was really well, and was improving loads. And then he had a dip. They went on holiday to Devon and Phoebe went with them. They drove down and took Phoebe and they went with my sisters and nephews and things and had a lovely time, and then came back, and then Dad's strength in his legs deteriorated really quickly after that, for no apparent reason. Osteoporosis, we presume. And then we had a little call on a Monday evening. He rang my sister and said that he thought my mum had COVID and he wasn't coping and could somebody come and help. And I'm the closest, so I went down and they were fine. They were all right. I made them some toast and cup of tea, and I waited there until they'd gone to bed, and then my sister was coming down the next day to spend some time with them to look after them. But mum was just exhausted from looking after my dad, so she didn't have COVID, she was fine. But that was really the start of everything, and bit by bit he just went downhill, and it was very strange. We think maybe he'd had a stroke at some point, but we don't know. And he died of a chest infection exacerbated by old age. He had gone into hospital a few days before, and I was going to take the children down to see him, but at that point he didn't really know who a lot of us were. He was quite delirious, so I didn't want them to have that lasting memory of him. So I did see him the day before, 2 days before he died. My other sister went and saw him the day before, and actually my mum wasn't with him when he died. She was in church, which kind of nice, I guess. So then anyway, he died the day before my 50th birthday. So normally my videos, I would have done like what I got for my birthday and all that sort of stuff. And you will have known that, we had a few things planned for my birthday, but nothing major, and I think no parties or anything, thank goodness. But I did actually, even though, it was a really sad time, I did actually have a nice birthday. I got an unexpected day off work. I obviously wasn't expecting to not be it was going to be a normal day and we were going to go out for dinner in the evening. But in the end, I just had a relaxing day at home. I watched, I should never remember the name of the program. That thing on Netflix about the rabbi. No, Nobody Wants This. Is that what it was called? Something like that. Anyway, I watched that most of the day. We had present opening and things like that. So it was a chilled day. We still went out for dinner in the evening. And I got some lovely presents, which, I was very grateful for. One of which is a trip to New York. Andrew bought me a trip to New York for next December. So he did know, obviously, when he booked it, he didn't know that Dad was going to die, but we kind of knew that things weren't great. So he said he didn't want to book it for this year, which was, a blessing really. And so we've got that to look forward to next year. But I got some lovely things. And then I sort of did a bit of work that week, here and there. I didn't go to any meetings. I mean, work were absolutely incredible. They were like, take all the time you need, you we'll sort everything, but kind of felt that keeping going and keeping ticking over was what I needed. I didn't want to just sit and mope around. And I did go down and see my mum, I think on the Wednesday after Dad died, took her down to register the death, and helped her sort things. Their house is now up for sale, and she's going to be moving to nearer my sister, which we were planning before he died. They'd said they weren't coping, we said, right, let's get this into motion, let's get you moved so that you're near one of us. And obviously I never got to that stage in the end, but she's still going to be moving. I've not spoken to her actually this week, so I need to give her a ring and see how that's going. But yes, I was able to go and spend some time with her on the Wednesday. And then on the Friday evening, Andrew and I went to Manchester for the weekend for my birthday. So he'd not only booked this trip to New York, but we also had a trip to Manchester for the weekend. And part of me, and back in my mind, was like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go. But actually, what else are you going to do? Like, just mope around at home? Like, what's the point in stopping things? Dad was 93, he wasn't young. And he wouldn't have wanted us to be moping about, feeling sorry for ourselves. And so I think it was the right thing to do. So we went to Manchester. We stayed in this lovely studio in a place called, oh my goodness, what was it called? My brain, I can't remember. Lim, I think it was called Lim, just outside Manchester. And so we went there Friday night. We had some fish and chips, and when we got there, and then went to the pub, and it was a lovely pub, and it had, if you were following me on Instagram, you'll have seen I had lots of pictures on there. It had loads of like autumn decorations in the pub and a roaring fire. I mean, actually it didn't need the fire, it was so hot that day. And then Saturday we had a mooch. We went out for breakfast in the morning at a little coffee shop, and we mooched around the town, and then we went into Manchester, and Andrew booked an escape room for the afternoon, which was really fun. We did not get out, we got locked in. I think we needed the rest of our team. We do escape rooms quite often, but we have Archie and Leah and Phoebe with us, and I think we needed a full team to be able to escape. But it was really good fun. We did some shopping, had some dinner, and then he'd bought tickets to go and see Peter Kay at Manchester Arena. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that we already had tickets to see Peter Kay at the O2 back in February of this year, and I cannot remember what happened, but we didn't go and we couldn't go. I think it was just logistics. The O2 is actually really difficult to get to. I think it's easier to go to Manchester to flip an O2. It's difficult to get to, it's awkward. I think it was on a weekday, and it just, all in all, it just didn't work out, and we didn't go, and we'd left it too late, and so we couldn't sell the tickets. And so I just put it down to experience. I was like, oh, well, we just won't get to see him this time. And anyway, Andrew managed to get some tickets on Twickets, which is the like resale site, it's where people can resell their tickets safely and at a reasonable price. And we got tickets right, like we were 4 rows from the front, right in the front. So that was really, really good. And we had a really good time. So it was nice to have a good laugh. Although, I don't know if any of you have seen his current tour. It's kind of a lot of stuff about his grandmother who died recently. So there was some clips of him talking to his grandmother before she died, and that really set me off. I was like, oh God. But it was fine. I really, really enjoyed it. And then on the Sunday, Andrew's eldest son Harry and his fiance and their baby Maeve came over for the day, and we went out for Sunday lunch and had a nice walk, and it was just lovely. And then in the evening, Andrew and I did a murder mystery case studies thing. We've done one once before. We bought one, and then Archie and Leah did it after us, and then they bought one, and now we've done that when they gave it to us, so we did that. We did that in the evening, went and had like a picky tea, and then came home on the Monday morning. So all in all, it was a really lovely weekend and a happy distraction from everything else that was going on. And then we got back from there Monday, and I worked Tuesday to Friday, and then we had a whole drama which I won't go into, but which ended in that we decided to move Phoebe from the school that she is currently in. I mean, we hadn't been entirely happy with the school since she went there, and it's not in a good location. We have to pay a fortune to get her there on the bus every day. And she has to get up stupidly early in the morning to get there because it's so far away, and she can't do any after school activities because there's no late bus. So all in all, I'd been thinking, or maybe, this wasn't a good idea to send her to this school. And then there was a big drama over half term, and it just made me decide that, yeah, definitely I need her to move. So, and she wanted to move. She said, no, I've had enough there. So we applied to move her to 3 local schools, but she didn't get into any of those because they were all full, but they did give us an alternative, which we have decided could be a good fit for her. It's got a really good music department, which her current school does not have at all, which is one of my bugbears because she is musical. She sings, she plays the flute, and she wants to be able to join a choir and an orchestra and things at school, and they don't have any of those at her school. So I think this is a really good move for her. I'm really hoping. So I'm not sure when she's starting, but she's not going back to her current school after half term. She was supposed to be going on a trip to France, a history trip, but she's not doing that now. So we've lost the money for that, which is really annoying, but oh well. So yeah, we're just logistically trying to sort that out. So that was a big drama, which I could have done without, but I feel better about it now that we've done the right thing. And then, so that was on the Thursday, I think. And then the Friday, I worked, and then Saturday we went to Disneyland. Well, we went to Paris. So Phoebe was dancing in Paris at Disneyland in half term, and we had decided to book a few extra nights in an Airbnb just near, about 20 minutes from Disneyland, but right near a train station so we could get into Paris. So Andrew and I were going to be going and taking Phoebe, and we decided to drive because it was so much cheaper than flying or going on the Eurostar. We were trying to do this on a budget, and I managed to get my shuttle tickets on my Tesco Club card, so I think the shuttle actually cost us £2 in the end. On Friday, I was just checking the tickets, I think, for shuttle, and it said, oh, make sure you've got everything you need. So I went on and double checked, and it said if you lease, you need to take your registration document for your vehicle. Well, I leased my vehicle, so I don't have a registration document. And it said if you lease your vehicle, you need this certificate of lease. I was like, oh, I wonder if I've got that somewhere. So I googled it, and I went to the people we leased the car from, and it says, oh yeah, you need to apply 7 days before travel for this certificate, and it will get sent to you in the post. I'm like, what? I'm going tomorrow. I don't have a certificate. How do I? Anyway, I panicked, and then so I rang. It said, ring this number if you need it sooner. And so they said, we can send it recorded delivery, but it won't be with you till tomorrow. And we were supposed to be leaving at like 7:30 in the morning. Our shuttle was at 12:15. I was, well, that's no good. And he said, right, well, the only other option is you can come and collect it from us. And I said, well, where are you? He said, we're in Redditch, which is just outside Birmingham. So I checked my Google Maps. It was an hour and a half, and it was 2:30 at this point. And he said, but you must be here before 5. And I think it was 2:45, I think. We said, but you must be here before 5. I was like, right, I'm on my way. So I gave him all the details so he could get the certificate ready. I jumped in the car. Andrew was in the gym, so I didn't even get to tell him what was going on. I just said to Archie, tell Andrew, tell Dad he's got to take Phoebe to dance. I'm going to Redditch. I'll be back in 3 hours. I literally jumped in the car, drove there, got there at 4:30, picked up the certificate, came home. Did I need the certificate the entire holiday? I did not. But sod's law, if I hadn't have got it, I would have needed it. Anyway, so that was that. And then there was a whole drama because this year has been so expensive because obviously we had Dance World Cup. Phoebe went on a ski trip. We've got Disneyland, and then all sorts of other things that have cost a lot of money. We had grass done, and Andrew said, I can't afford, obviously when you're self-employed, you have a week holiday, you don't get paid. He said, I just can't afford to take the week off. I just can't afford it. So I was like, oh, but we're supposed to be driving to Paris. I didn't want to drive all the way on my own. So anyway, we sat down, discussed it, and decided that I would go with Phoebe and Archie would come with me. He can't drive, but he obviously is support. Another adult is handy to have with you. So yeah, I just went to Paris with Archie and Phoebe, which wasn't what was planned, but actually was lovely. And I think actually was probably a better option. Andrew's not a fan of big crowds, and it was busy. Like everywhere we went, like Disneyland and Paris, everything was super busy. And actually the drive was fine. The shuttle was so easy to go on. The shuttle there was delayed by about an hour, which was a shame, but it was fine. We actually booked a later one after all the hoo-ha on the Friday with getting this certificate. I decided I didn't want to have to be getting up at 6:30 to get off. So we booked, I think, a 2 o'clock shuttle, or 2:15. but actually I don't think we left until 3:15 in the end. But it meant that we didn't have to get up and get out until 9, so that was much nicer in the morning. So yeah, I drove all the way and it was fine. The shuttle was really easy. Driving in Paris was really easy. I found it so much better. I have driven abroad before. When we went to Barcelona on our summer holiday a couple of years ago, we flew there, but we hired a car from the airport and I drove the entire time we were there. And I did find that really stressful, but and I've driven in France before, but it's always been with a hire car. And being in my car just makes so much difference. I was so much more comfortable behind the wheel. I mean, I'm not a nervous driver necessarily, but obviously when you're in another country, you're on another side of the road, that adds a stress. So having an unfamiliar car on top of that adds that whole extra layer of stress. And so without that, I actually found it really easy. So we booked an Airbnb, which we found really, really quickly, no problem at all. That was on the Saturday. We got there at about 7. We had a little walk up to I'd taken bits of food with us for breakfasts and things like that. But we needed some milk and butter, so we nipped up to the little shop that was about a 5-minute walk from where we were staying, bought some of that, and then we ordered a Domino's, which was actually minging. It was horrible. It was cold. We ordered a pizza and chips to share, and the chips were cold. The pizza was cold. It was horrible, but it was fine. We were tired and ready for bed at that point, so we just had it and then went to bed. And on the Sunday, Archie had to do a bit of work. It was quite handy actually. The Airbnb had a whole little office area, so he had to do some work in the mornings. So he worked for a bit, and then we got the train into Paris. We went to Sacré-Cœur, Montmartre. We went to Galeries Lafayette, did a bit of shopping, and then we went to the we didn't sample French food. I did think we would go and have a nice lunch or a dinner in a cafe or something in Paris, but Phoebe is so anti trying anything new. We ended up in McDonald's for dinner, and then in the evening we went up the Eiffel Tower, which we had booked before we went, and that was amazing. I've never been up the Eiffel Tower before. I've been to the Eiffel Tower but never been up it, yeah, that was really, really good. We went all the way to the top, which was quite terrifying. We went to the second floor first and went out, and I couldn't even get to the edge. I was like holding on to the rail because I was so scared to get to. I'm not a big fan of heights, and then going in the lift up to the top was just like, I just tried not to look out the window, and I shut my eyes and I was just holding on for dear life. And then we got to the top, and actually I felt happier at the top. I don't know why. Once we got out there, I think it's all very enclosed. There's no on the second floor, you can just there's nothing. There's just a railing. Obviously down below there's netting and stuff, so you can't jump out. But whereas at the top it's all completely enclosed. So I felt quite safe up there, and we FaceTimed Andrew up there, which was nice. So he got to kind of be up the Eiffel Tower with us, and then we got the train back. And then on the Monday, we had a late start again. Archie had to do some work, and then we went to Val d'Europe, which is like a shopping centre. Kids had some money they wanted to spend. I had some birthday money, which I thought I might get a few bits. I did get a pair of jeans and a jumper. And yeah, we just had a wander around there. And then in the evening, so I drove there, which was really simple and easy. And then we drove from there to Disney Village in the evening, parked up and went and had dinner in the Disney Village, which was nice. Went to the Royal Pub, I think it's called, which was lovely, but very expensive. Everything in Disney is expensive. In fact, Paris and Disney was all very expensive. As we're going around each day, I'm just like paying for stuff, just like more money going out, more money going out, just constant, like you could see like bank account going. And then I rang Andrew and I was like, I'm trying to do this on a budget, but it's really hard. He was like, don't worry, you're on holiday, just enjoy yourself. But I'm like, but we had a lovely time and then on the Tuesday we got really early, drove to Disneyland, to the hotel we were staying in with Phoebe's dance school, checked in, and then went into the parks. Phoebe went off with her friends, which was lovely. They all dressed up as Winnie the Pooh characters. So it was Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Piglet, and Tigger. Phoebe was Eeyore. So they just had a great time going around the parks. And then Archie and I just did loads of rides together, which was really nice. Spend some time just with him. We had great fun. did all sorts of rides. We went on Hyperspace Mountain, we went on Buzz, we went on, I kind of think, Small World. We did, I mean, over the time, we did Indiana Jones and Peter Pan's Flight. We did Thunder Mountain, we did Phantom Manor, and then in the other part, we did Crusher's Coaster and the soldiers, the parachute drop, and we did Web Slinger and Flight Force. So yeah, loads and loads of rides. The queues were bad, but we got used to sort of the times when you could get a slightly shorter queue. So that was Tuesday. We came back. I got really cold. That was freezing. So we came back I came back in the afternoon, left the kids in the park to get my coat, and then went back. But I still really struggled. I was so cold. Because, you know, once you get cold, it's really hard to warm up. So we came back, we had dinner. Where did we go for dinner? Vapiano, which is the Italian just outside of Disney Village. And then we went back to the room, and we were going to get changed and then go back and watch the fireworks. But I decided to stay. I was like, no, I'll see the fireworks another day. So they went back and watched the fireworks, and I had a bath, which was so nice. And then that was that. And then on the Wednesday was dance day, so we got up early. Phoebe had to go off for a rehearsal in the morning, so Archie and I went and did a few rides, came back, and then we just basically stayed at the Videopolis Theatre, which is where they were performing. We had lunch there and then just waited there until they performed, which was like 2:30. So there was just a lot of sitting around on that day, but it was still, yeah, it was fine. We managed to get, I think, 3 rides done first thing in the morning, so we didn't feel too much like we were wasting time. So we did that and then watched them dance and sing, which was brilliant. So good. The performance is actually on YouTube, on the dance school's YouTube channel. So if I can, I will link it below in case you want to see what they did. And then after that, we went and did a few more rides. And then we stayed with Phoebe then. And then we went to Vapiano again for dinner with everybody else from the dance school. We all went. That was really nice. And then we went back to get changed and then went back into the parks. And Phoebe went off with her friends, and Archie and I did some rides and then watched the fireworks, which were incredible. They were so good. So good. I really enjoyed them. And we had a really prime spot as well, which when I've been before, I've always been right at the back, but we had a really good spot. So I was really chuffed with that. And then Thursday we got up early, had some breakfast, and literally went around the parks, did all the rides we wanted to do or hadn't already done. And then we left at about 4, I think. We left the parks at about 4:30. Got some petrol. I think we were on the road by about 5:15. But we didn't get to Calais until 9:15. Yeah, it took me 4 hours, and I don't know why. It took me on a strange route, but I think there was traffic, and I wasn't in any traffic, but I think it took me on a route to avoid traffic. But that was fine. We got there, and our shuttle was due to be at 10:15, but we managed to get on the one half an hour earlier at 9:45, which was great. So we got into the UK at about 9:15 UK time, and then drove home. Again, we got delayed on the way home, but we got home at about midnight. It was a long drive, but it was good. We had a really good time. So yesterday was just getting washing done. I'm still doing washing at the moment, sort of day and a chill day. And today I'm supposed to be cleaning the house. Can't be bothered. I picked this up when I went to do my Tesco shop yesterday, and I'm feeling festive. I want to read this. And my House Beautiful magazine came through the door yesterday, and that's the Christmas one as well. I'm like, oh, I just want to sit here and have a cup of tea and read my magazines. But I do need to clean the house. But I've still got tomorrow. Yesterday felt like Saturday. It was crazy. All day it felt like Saturday. And so today it feels like we've got a bonus day. Today's Saturday. Andrew's gone to work today because he was supposed to be going yesterday, but he wanted to stay because obviously we got home late on Thursday night. So I think he wanted to be at home with us yesterday, which was nice. So he's gone to work today. Phoebe's just mooching around. I think Archie's doing some work. I think we're going to go and see Beetlejuice later because we've not seen it yet. And Phoebe's been dying to see it, so I think we're going to go and see that later. Just me and Phoebe, I think. And then, and then she's got some dance rehearsals tomorrow, and then it's all back to normal. Well, almost back to normal because she's not at school this week because she's not going back to her old school. And although I've emailed the new school to what's the word? Formally accept the place that the admissions has offered us. They're on half term, so they haven't received that yet, so I can't sort of turn up on Monday with her because like they won't have anywhere for her to go. So I've just said, let's give it a week. I need to order her uniform and everything, so we'll give it a week and she'll probably go back the following week. She wasn't going to be in school anyway because she was going to be on this French trip, so she'll just have a week at home, and she's got lots of dancing to learn, and I might see if I can find some work for her to do, but she's got a flute exam coming up. That's the other issue. We've had to lose her flute teacher because she learns at school. I think it can be transferred to a new teacher, but she's got an exam coming up in December. So yeah, it's just been crazy few weeks. And today I feel like, everything's sort of slowed down. Dad's not having a traditional funeral as such. He's had a cremation already. In private, it was what they wanted. They didn't want fancy cars and coffins and all that sort of stuff. They just wanted that done. And then because they go to church, it made sense because they can have a nice memorial in church, which is in end of November. So we've got that coming up, and I've got to read. My brother and I are reading the eulogy, so I'm gonna have to practice that so I can read that without getting emotional, which I think I will be able to. But yeah, so that's coming up. But yeah, be nice for life to sort of get back to normal a little bit. Work's super busy, like proper busy, and I feel really bad that I've sort of not, I mean, I sort of had 2 weeks at work. I had a few days here and there where I wasn't there. But I have been keeping things ticking over. But then I've obviously I had that Monday off when we were in Manchester, and then I've had like all this last week off, and people have just had to pick up stuff for me, and I kind of feel bad, but hey ho, I would do the same for them. So I have to keep telling myself I would do the same. I would do the same if they were in my situation. So yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so that's my update. I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything I've left out of this crazy life that we've been living this last few weeks. I hope you are all good. I've missed catching up with people in the comments. Hopefully videos will be sort of back to normal. I have got a B&M haul which I'll stick up or film and stick up on Wednesday, but it's only a small haul. It was a really big haul, but a lot of the stuff was like food and snacks and like cleaning products and things which I needed to use, so I've had to take them out, and so I've just left with some Christmassy bits, but I'll still film that because there's some nice bits in there, so I will still film that. And I was thinking of maybe doing a series of come shop with me's of Christmas decorations, so going around the different shops. Like I did all in one video for autumn, but I thought maybe do a few. I could even do a week's worth, like go one for B&M, one Home Bargains, Dunelm, Home Sense, The Range, Matalan, and all that. Maybe do a week of them. I don't know. I thought that might be kind of cool. So I might do that, and I could film those then all in one day, and then edit them and put a week's worth of videos up. That'll make up for not having any for the last 3 weeks, won't it? So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm doing this on my phone because my camera was out of battery, and I thought I just want to film this now. I have actually filmed. I filmed an update, a chatty update about Dad, and then at the end of it I did what I got for my birthday, and at the time I felt, that's fine, it was my birthday, it's okay to show it all in one video. But then when I went to put it live, I told Andrew about it, and he was like, I'm not sure that's kind of ideal. And although I feel like you guys would understand, I did think, people might see it and think, she's telling us her dad's died and now she's showing us what she got for her birthday. That's a bit insensitive. And the way I filmed it, I didn't think it was, but anyway, I decided it probably was not a great idea, so I ditched that video. And then I've left it a few weeks, and now I've just filmed this one. So I think this is probably more appropriate than that one. But yeah, so yeah, I keep trying to end the video and then I'm still talking. You can tell I've missed filming. Anyway, yeah, I'm filming this on my phone. That's what I was saying, because my camera was dead, and I wanted to just get it done. So anyway, I'll edit it on my phone. I'll get it live probably for tomorrow morning, and I will see you all in my next one. Thank you for watching.